Jed Spence and Cristian Romero have both on the brink of leaving the club. And this is a price to pay for Tottenham's failures. And now the price to pay is for them to leave and bring in a new era at Tottenham Hotspur. Let's get straight into it. Jed Spence and Cristian Romero, and it looks like they're going to be out the club now, leaving the club, with Jed Spence getting the here we go from Fabrizio Romano to Inter Milan for 27 million, and Cristian Romero leaving the club to Atletico Madrid. And before we get into anything regarding these departures, please like and subscribe to the channel. I know you're going to like this channel because we try and do Tottenham content for you every single day. I think this is now a price to pay for both of them in different ways. And the reason why I'm saying this at the moment, because I think everyone that we let go of, there has been a price to pay for the failures of the past 2 seasons and the failures of the strategy that we've had over time. It reminds me of a story that I love watching, Spider-Man. Peter Parker, for all the heroic things he does as Spider-Man, he suffers in his personal life. He suffers in love. He suffers at work. He suffers at everything he does. But Spider-Man, being the hero, he gets the glory as Spider-Man, but he suffers as Peter Parker. Bruce Wayne, he wants to be in the dark, the shadows. He's looked as the bad guy, but he's a hero at night, as the Dark Knight, Batman, the Batman in the dark shadows. But this is the point. I think when you look at some of the players that we let go of, they're not bad players. They're just not right for Tottenham right now, especially for De Zerbi. And there is different reasoning for every single one of them leaving Tottenham Hotspur. And that's why I say this is a price to pay. A price to pay going on to Jed Spence, the recent departure that we got, here we go, from Fabrizio Romano. His reasoning is because he doesn't fit the ideal fullback to what De Zerbi wants to do in the team. When you look at Porro, for instance, if you're playing the wing back that he clearly shown in Spain, which won in the World Cup, he looks like a perfect fullback or wing back for De Zerbi. You can say that Destiny Udogie, he's got that quality to do that himself with his pace, his quality, and it's just really his final delivery. But I don't think we're going to ever see that because we've seen the last 3 years he's not been good in the final third. Andy Robertson has got that, but he's just way behind. He's just back end of his career now, dwindling down towards his retirement, but experience anyway. But Jed Spence, for all his qualities as a defender, his attacking qualities are just not good enough for Tottenham Hotspur. And people will say he had a great World Cup, he needs another chance, and he had that great renaissance under Postecoglou. You should keep him around for backup. But Jed Spence wants to be the first choice. And also, he was brought in by Thomas Tuchel from England because he was there for a specific role in the team. And that specific role, he did really, really well in the England team. And that's why he shone in that World Cup. That's the point. And unfortunately, the role that he wants to do for Tottenham is not right for Tottenham. It's not the way that Tottenham want to play. If it's a defensive team, he should go off to, it's the perfect team is Inter Milan for him. And that's why he's gone off to Inter Milan. The only problem I have at the moment is the price. The price that we sold him for. Maybe we should have got a little bit more, maybe even got a sell-on clause in that deal. Because If he gets sold for even more money, we've missed out on more money, and that's it really for me. So that's not good business for Tottenham. So that's why I think it was a bad deal in that sense. But if you look at the fullbacks we are linked with right now, Daniel Munoz, and he's one of the options that Tottenham are looking at from Crystal Palace. And as we've seen when he's played at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, he's a very attacking wing-back that is really dangerous on the counter. And I think he's a perfect sort of player that Tottenham Hotspur could have that could really be helpful to De Zerbi on the wing. Another one that Tottenham Hotspur linked with today was Andrea Cambiasso from Juventus, who reportedly Juventus, if Tottenham were interested, would want a fee of £50 million. Tottenham Hotspur valuation of the player would be around £35 million, though. So there's quite a gap in the valuations of the two clubs with the player. But he would be someone that plays on the left and the right as a fullback, but also can play as left midfielder as well. So it's kind of another reason why Tottenham Hotspur are looking to move on Jed Spence, for the fact that he doesn't fit the profile what we want as a profile player that we need in the team, that is going to fulfill a role in the squad. And that's what's the main thing at the moment. What is going to fulfill the role? And that's why I think Jed Spence, letting him go, getting money for getting a fee for him, and getting that money in to use it to other avenues to get another player in that could fit the system is the best decision all round. And again, it goes back to sacrifices need to be made. Switching gears to Cristian Romero, it's a different reason for the fact that we had to let him go. Mainly because his presence is affecting the team. His presence, yeah, he has helped us towards winning that Europa League a couple of years ago with Ange. But really, it's just his presence hasn't really helped us at all. And the fact that his performances has been up and down, number 2, 5, 8, I just think it hasn't worked out. And then the off-the-field activities that he causes problems with the club, it just doesn't work out at all. And I think at the moment, I stick by what I say. If he went over to Arsenal, I think it would have made him worse, because they would have given him problems as well. Yes, he'll give him some qualities, but he'll also give him some problems as well. And going to Atletico Madrid, we get the money for him, and we can move on and bring in another player that might suit what we need and might give us a bit more better presence than Romero was giving us. That's the thing. And I think that's why the price, we had to sacrifice him. We had to let him go. Keeping him in the team, especially that the captaincy was stripped off him, wouldn't made no good for Tottenham Hotspur to have him still there. No good. It would have been no good for us to keep him. Absolutely. So for me, that's why we had to let him go. And it just goes back to Kingpin said, back onto Spider-Man, my favourite movie and cartoon. Kingpin had a son that they both got arrested when Spider-Man defeated them. And Kingpin said to his son, sacrifices need to be made. And he sacrificed his son. That's the thing, and that's where it is. If we want to be successful, we're going to have to sacrifice the kids, sacrifice players that we don't need, like Pape Sarr. And it brings me on to all the players that we have sold during this transfer window. And I think it shows that we really changed. And now Alistair Gold confirmed it in his post a couple of weeks ago, saying that most of the signings that Johan Lang have brought in are going to get rid of at the moment for the rebuild for Tottenham Hotspur. And this is why we're doing it at the moment. With sales of Rado Jagerson leaving his club, Luka Vucevic, who didn't have a game at Tottenham, went to Brighton, Ashley Phillips, Alfie Devine, Tynan Thompson, Mona Solomon, who went to West Ham, Will Lancashire, who went to Middlesbrough, Valise, Yang Min Hook on loan, and Mason Melia as well, with Basuma released and Yao Paulinho is loan expired and Kolo Muani, who is now signed for Juventus, shows that Tottenham Hotspur really have made those players pay, the squad pay for the fact that we've been 17th twice back to back in the past 2 seasons. And that's what you need to do. You have to reassess. You have to reset. And that's what Tottenham have to do. And unfortunately, there's a price to pay for that. If you want to bring in experience and you've still got youth there, something needs to give. And that's the point. We had to do this. And then hopefully, with the sacrifice we've done, we'll see some success this season coming, which is only a week away. So it's getting closer, that curtain for the Premier League, start of the Premier League. So what's your thoughts on this, on what Tottenham are doing right now? Sales are happening at the moment at Tottenham Hotspur. Leave it in the comments. And please like and subscribe to the channel as I'm trying to get to 2,000 subscribers before the end of the transfer window. And it'd be appreciated. See you in the next video. And as always, if you didn't know, get to know. Support your boy, Mr. Box Office. Subscribe and like. And come on, you Spurs. And I'm out.